Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning back into Some Sustainables Presents the Olive Branch. I know you saw the title. The title is From a Prince to a King. On today's episode, it's not going to be that obvious. We're not just going to really go straight forward into what makes a prince a king. That's not what this is about. Today, we're going to talk about the initiative into what makes a person grow. What influences a person to grow? So, please excuse me, I just got finished working out. This is a whole part of the vlog, so let's get into it. Let's enlighten up. Okay, so I know you guys know that eventually one day a prince is going to transition into a king, but it's usually due to milestones, setting priorities, achieving certain goals. We can even say rearranging priorities. Real life situations. This is what makes a boy into a man as far as how he reacts to that, right? The same thing goes for women. What makes her into a queen is certain things that she go through, ways of reacting, achievements, accomplishments, etc. So today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the actual mindset. We're going to talk about the importance of that mindset shift. But before we get there, I want to let you guys know a little bit about me and my mindset shift. I recently just celebrated a milestone birthday, and it was a really good birthday. Of course, you know, we're still in a pandemic. There are fears of COVID. There's fears of being in overly populated spaces. So I thought of a great idea for me and my close friends and family to just endeavor in an activity that involves little to no type of transportation in a way. And it was really, really fun. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the people that helped me celebrate. It was great. But within that moment, I realized that, man, things is about to shift. And it's all up to me to realize how that will shift, you know? How I would define that shift, you know? It's good to know that I spent 1 decade of my life really building myself up, making a foundation. And I feel as though this next decade, I'm in hopes of it being fruitful. And I have a plan, and I really want that plan to execute itself with all of my planned parts within that plan, right? Everything is going to be in alignment. It should be, based off of how I treated myself in my last decade of my life. So that's just an example of how a milestone can help transition me into thinking differently, into becoming a king that I already see myself as, or already had hopes into being, right? So I know you guys know about sustainability. You heard it on one of my previous videos. I gave you a formal definition of what sustainability is, and I wrote some notes down. You know, it was very formal. Took some time off, as stated in my last video, took some time off to reflect and get my mind together. And I finally realized that when it comes to a vlog, you know, things just have to be on the fly. You have to just talk about things like organically. And that's what I'm doing today. So I definitely pre-thought some things, of course, because I don't want to look stupid on camera. Like, I'm just being real with you guys. I mean, I'm a human being, you know? Success is always due to preparation, you know? Anyway, I know you guys know about sustainability, and I want to bring up this idea that can help influence men, right? In particular, one day it's going to come a time where men is going to have to really rely on their knowledge and their initiative to use their natural abilities to help protect and provide for their loved ones, for themselves, or for anyone that is close to them, right? For their family, for their people, for their community, right? It's going to come a time. And with this sustainability theory that is around us, I think it's important for us to be aware of that. It's important for us to build awareness when it comes to that. So that's the purpose of this vlog too. It's not only to give y'all real life situations, but it's also to help build awareness when it comes to this idea of sustainability. So let's use sustainability as an example. Recently, I read in an article that U.S. lawmakers is investing in about $3.5 trillion towards the maintenance of climate change, towards tackling that issue, doing everything possible to monitor and maintain and fund the positive changes when it comes to climate change within our planet, right? I find that very interesting. I personally think that we need more money than that, and we should have started, 20 years ago when it comes to monitoring climate change. That's just my personal opinion. But there's a lot of men out here who do not know what the hell climate change is, like at all, like no idea. We had proof that we had a president that served that fully wasn't aware or showed no sense of remorse when it comes to science and things that can influence our Earth's ecological scale and environmental scale, right? I think now it's time for men to understand that we have to be aware of things that's going on right outside of our door, right in our community, right in our backyards, even if it's some stuff that we probably never really built an interest for, right? Such as the environment or what influences natural resources or the increase or decrease of natural resources such as energy, water, etc., right? I read something else. I came across something else, and it was talking about New York and their plan. The state of New York has a plan that they are trying to implement that will tackle fossil fuel emissions or air pollution. Air pollution is a big issue. According to research, you all can look it up to be, frank. If you want to go behind me and look up research, feel free to do that. But according to research, there is about 400,000 people within the U.S. now that die just every year due to bad air, literally. Bad air pollutants. And we're currently in a pandemic right now with a respiratory illness that attacks your chest. No one knows what it is. No one sees it. It's not detectable by the eye. But once contaminated within, it messes up everything, right? It's what you intake in your body. It's crazy. We're in a situation in our lives right now where we are dealing with stuff like that, right? But there's people out here that are not aware of how to tackle that. I think it just goes back into understanding your environment. But back to New York, there is a proposal of a plan that says by 2035, the state of New York will have, and I'm speaking in layman's terms, but the state of New York will have no car usage with fossil fuels on their highway systems, residential streets, none of that. In every borough, none of that. They want to eliminate that by 2035. I'm gonna be real, like for me, they're basically saying, hey, look, we are eliminating cars. And if you don't have an electric vehicle, you are ass out. If you don't have the means of accessing public transit, you're ass out. If you don't have a bicycle or some type of electric motorized type scooter or whatever, hey, best of luck to you. I think that it's more so something that we should talk about. We should be aware of, because I'm only speaking hypothetically, but for a 20-year-old, 20-something-year-old young man that's trying to build, has a family, is married, doing what he do, 20, 30-year-old, man trying to build, trying to do what he do. He has a family and he's in the state of New York. In about 15 years from now, he's going to have to figure out how he's going to make sure that his pregnant wife gets on a bus, gets on a subway system, a train system, gets on a bike, walk. What is he going to do? Is he going to do it all? Is he even aware of that? Do we have the initiative and understanding that in order to find your purpose, you have to understand the greater purpose within your community? You have to build the awareness. You have to build your awareness so that you could help exercise your community's awareness. It all ties into each other. It all ties back into this thing that we talk about, the manosphere and alpha this, beta that. It all ties into that. You have to be aware of the bigger picture first in order to even think about your purpose. There's no way you'll have a purpose if you're not conscious about what's going on outside. Now, I brought that to sustainability because it's something that I believe that we should be aware of. Now I'm going to talk about the game called chess, right? For a king, according to the game, a king can move in all direction about one space, right? One space at a time, basically. They can move forwards, backwards, diagonal, side to side, one space at a time, which is pretty unique. But if you look at a chessboard, and if you look at what makes a king on his side of the board, there's different players, there's different pieces, right? There's different components. You got the rook, the bishop, the knight, the pawns, right? They all have their own role with distinctive moves. And then you have that queen. You got that queen. A king should have that queen, especially, in terms of chess, but in real life too. That queen is liable of doing it all, man. She can do it all. But there's one objective. When you are a king of your kingdom, you have to be sure that all of your components within your kingdom understands that the main objective is to protect the king. That's the main objective. Now, I'm not trying to be one-sided or biased when I speak about this. I'm trying to make a point. The point is, there's a lot of queens out here that are making a lot of moves in no kingdom with no king. They are just out here doing what they do best, doing what they are supposed to do. Now, I'm not feeding into that. I'm saying that it's time for that king to realize that he's a king. He can do it all too, one step at a time. But it takes one step to become aware of your purpose. So that's what this video is about today, man. I'm gonna cut that short. It got a little hot. I'm in here sweating a little bit almost. But I wanted to share this for y'all, man, because I think it's time to spread awareness when it comes to this. So until next time, peace.